So here we are towards the end of our fourth HOH, which is Christian. Christian is the current HOH. He's also the current veto holder, and the veto ceremony has yet to happen. His two noms are Hannah and Whitney. And right now, currently, Whitney is the target. Even though for Christian and Alyssa's game, it would be a better move to get rid of Hannah. And earlier in the week, conversations were had, and they were decided that Hannah was the better target because she was the bigger threat mentally, because they have been aware that she can recall things very well. And also, they realize keeping Whitney in the game when everyone is saying her name benefits them because that's a target in front of them. Plus, they see one of their teammates, being Xavier, is very close to her. So obviously, they realize he should be able to manipulate her or have control over what she does. But for whatever reason, they decided to change their mind. Now, I don't know if this is due to production, because production, specifically CBS, wants this narrative of the Black Power Race Alliance to all make it into jury, or is it just true gamesmanship by multiple players who have been convincing them to switch their targets? I mean, they're both pretty young, Alyssa and Christian, so I can buy they can be tricked into making a bad move for themselves. But knowing these mainstream companies and how they're all pushing these various identity politics agendas, I wouldn't be surprised if production is trying to keep all of the so-called black players safe. Because, a black winner means, black lives will all be saved and the community can rise and celebrate. I'm telling you, woke people just celebrate some of the most irrelevant, inconsequential nonsense. It's like whoever wins this game, if they're so-called black, it's a benefit to them and their family. So congrats to them, but it doesn't mean anything to anyone else. But these people love to celebrate symbolic victories that don't mean nothing in reality. But I digress. The week has been decided, and Christian winning another comp just makes him a bigger target, which, again, mind-boggling why he won't keep someone in the house whose name has been mentioned. But the one interesting thing that is going to happen in this house is that next week, teams are finished, done. And as far as I know, I don't think anyone in the house would currently target a fellow teammate. I mean, I don't see the queens targeting each other when teams are over. I don't see the jokers. I don't even see the aces. I mean, because if Whitney's gone, it'll be Hannah and Derek. So, I don't think they're going to target each other. The only people that might target their fellow teammate is the Kings, because I remember conversations earlier where Christian said he would target Xavier as soon as teams are over. So that would be interesting, but he can't compete for HOH. Alyssa can. So it'll be interesting if Alyssa wins or Sarah Beth wins, because Sarah Beth is another person who realized booting Hannah is the better move. But, I think Kylan has done a good job at convincing her otherwise. But the most interesting stuff, as far as Big Brother is concerned, it's happening outside the house. I mean, you have Dr. freaking Will, who's filed for divorce from his wife. His wife, who apparently was a part of a reality show. I didn't realize that. She won For Love of Money, some dating reality show from back in the day. When reality shows meant more, because she was on the Jay Leno show after winning that. And you don't get that any longer. People from Big Brother aren't appearing on prominent late night shows like they used to back in the day. But yeah, Dr. Will divorcing his wife, I mean, I think that would make him a more exciting character to return to Big Brother. Because he can engage in his manipulation like he did in 2 and 7, where he manipulated and played Shannon to be a target ahead of him, and he manipulated and played Janelle all the way until the end game. So now a single Dr. Will would actually make for a compelling character. I mean, you remember recently Mike Boogie, his fellow Chilltown member, was stalking him and his family. So I'm wondering what kind of effect that had on his marriage. But, I think these situations, it was probably already done with. That was just another situation that happened. But yeah, I would like to see a single Dr. Will in the house now, since he's a free man. And people, especially guys, are more exciting and fun when they aren't tied down. But I'm sure he's going to have to pay a hefty fine, even though he's the one that filed for it, based on where he resides and the fact that he has a lot of money. Now, the other interesting thing outside the house is happening in 5 days, where we will have Big Brother USA and Big Brother Canada going at it in celebrity boxing. It's going down in Arlington, Texas, College Park Center. And it includes a number of people. I mean, I don't recognize most of the Canadian people. I stopped watching Big Brother Canada after season 3. So I do recognize, John Party and Godfrey. And those two fights are one of the main ones I'm interested in. I'm interested in seeing Fessy versus Party, especially once I found out John Party used to be a hockey goon. So that'll be interesting. And Godfrey fighting Enzo, who's considerably older, but he's in great shape. I would like to see that as well. So, those are the things that are happening outside of Big Brother, far more interesting than what's going on in the game. BB Twitter, and with their nonsense, how they're usually against house alliances and unanimous votes and showmasters. Well, they're cheerleading all of that now because they're getting the house alliance, the showmasters, and the unanimous votes that they want. Because, there are a bunch of woke racist bastards online who want all of the straight white males or certain white people out of the house. But it's going to be funny when it comes to the pecking order. You'll see who they prefer within the so-called POC brigade of this season. You'll see that ultimately Big Brother Twitter, they're going to want Tiffany to win, because on the hierarchy of victimhood and, I don't know, woke racial nationalism, the preferred hierarchy is, women first, then homosexuals, then children. There's no children in the house. Then hetero males. So someone like Xavier, they don't really want to win. Maybe Kylan can get away with it because, he wears I was raised by a strong female t-shirt. So, maybe his simping and pandering will get him some brownie points with Big Brother Twitter. But ultimately, they want a Tiffany type to win. Maybe redemption for Devon and her sucky gameplay. But right now, we really haven't seen any tremendous gameplay inside the house. No one can keep their mouth shut. I would say the best at it right now is Claire, because she doesn't really spill too much info in comparison to everyone else. But we'll see what will happen once teams are ended. But for right now, the most interesting things is Dr. Will getting a divorce, and in 5 days, we'll have Big Brother players fighting each other in a boxing match.